I was going more obscure. I was hoping I could hear When Doves Cry, Sublime style, but you know.
That would work too.
Whoa! I got you.
Dude, yeah, that's like right up his alley. He's into that.
First time we crossed paths with these cats was in 1996. Well, the three of us actually crossed paths with you guys earlier than that, because we used to go and see Sublime play in Santa Barbara, in San Diego.
You guys were always late.
I heard that. I wasn't today, though.
I wasn't today.
You were before us.
He's had practice.
Yeah. We would pass out flyers at your shows too. That was like
right.
a big.
Yeah, we weren't too concerned about anything else except having a good time and playing.
But then the time that we first crossed paths officially was opening for Sublime in 1996. And Incubus was unsigned at that point, and we had high aspirations of being signed and going on tour, but getting to open up for you guys was a big milestone for us.
I mean, Sublime, like, I think really shaped the history of our band as like just, you know, Los Angelinos and like, you know, people who grew up here.
What you could do with music, like pulling in all different genres and not being just one thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was always super, super inspiring. And the earliest days of us getting together to play is like, you know, like we aspire to connect with an audience in that way.
Yeah.
You know, all these years later, like the music has endured so much. Yeah. Like I still see 16-year-old kids wearing Sublime shirts all the time now. Like, I'm like, how do you guys know?
We don't.
From their grandma.
I think they do,
It's just a
though.
cool shirt. Yeah,
they
no,
do.
most of them do, man. It's cool. Because I grew up worshiping Sublime, and then once I figured out who you guys were, worshiping you guys, whatever you guys were about, we were about, you know? Like, fucking, we were about Long Beach, we were about SoCal, we were about
You guys
Wesley
would be rooting
Willis.
for-
We'd be rooting for Long Beach teams. We would
Wesley
be like,
Willis.
Probably was
like
very good. I don't know
anything.
about
But
sports,
it's crazy, because, like, it is, for me, somebody who grew up listening to both bands, this is like a very full circle moment.
The two bands are different enough that it wouldn't be the first thing you'd think of as a pairing for a tour. But then if you start to like dissect the history of both bands and the way that both bands, like you were
Approach
saying,
music.
have approached music, which is from a kind of like, it's like almost smorgasbordian. You know what I mean? Like, is that a term?
It's a new genre.
You invented alternative, you know?
Where
like-
it has a kind of
smorgasbordian.
core. There's a core to each band, but then it's borrowing from lots of different things, and it's paying homage to lots of different
Yeah, and that's what
kinds of
makes
music.
us, you know, alike. And
To me, especially now coming out of a pandemic, people are really like starving for music that they connect with. And for me too, personally, it's like, wow, we made music that people really love. And like, I'm honored to be able to like be on a stage with these guys and like play music we wrote together and hear it coming back at us from the audience.
I mean, we've been a band for over 30 years and putting out music for that long and seeing our fans grow up with us and them bringing their kids and sometimes their kids. Like you're seeing different generations coming to our concerts and it's amazing.
yeah, and when people come up to you and they say, thank you so much for your music. It got me through some really rough times in my life. I mean, that means everything to me, you know?
Yeah.
You know what? I think it'd be fucking awesome if people just like walked out from just like this tour, just going like, holy shit, this was like a full circle moment for them as well. You're being too loud, Carlos. Give everyone else a chance to talk, dude.
Sorry.
You gotta really tone it down.